Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. Since Doug called the meeting to order. Rise and pledge allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Could have a moment of silence, please. Okay, roll call. I'm going to start with Commissioner Doug Smith today.
Here. Here.
Stephen, which cause?
Here. Here.
And here. Public comment. I don't think there was. Mark, was there any? I don't think there is.
There's no public comment for the first part of the meeting.
Thank you. Administrative business?
Just remind everybody that we do have a joint work session this evening, 5 o'clock. We're going to do that downstairs for seating purposes. I think we'll have that downstairs in the meeting room for seating.
Conference room downstairs.
Conference room in the basement for seating purposes.
Okay.
Wherever Crystal wants us to go.
Don't think I asked for that.
Yeah.
Anything else, Mark?
No, sir.
Before Mike gets started. Okay.
I do have a question for
Sure,
Mark.
go ahead, Mike.
Mark, could you kind of explain and outline for folks, for the people that are listening, about why the security at the courthouse was enhanced, and how long this has been in the works, and does it conform with what is happening at the Judicial Center?
Sure. Actually, discussions of securing the courthouse began, I think, 2.5 to 3 years ago. Probably before that even. But in earnest, probably 3 years ago, where we started looking at what it would take to secure the courthouse and what kind of staffing and whatnot. During last year's budget, we included funding for staffing if we were able to complete the full security process here in the courthouse. And then we were able to reutilize some of the COVID funds for purchasing the equipment and installing it downstairs as a screening process. So you notice that there's a thermal scanner when you come in and some of that stuff. So it's been in the actual discussion phase for 3 years and planning phase for 3 years, and we finally were able to implement it. But I think it came up even when they first secured the Justice Center across the street 20 years ago or whatever. So it's been talked about for a long time. It is the same screening that you go through when you go into the Justice Center. It's staffed by certified officers through the Sheriff's Department.
And the rules are the same for this building and that building?
As close as possible, yes.
Okay.
I mean, there are some different guidelines across the street because of the fact that it is a Justice Center and they have judges who are going in and out. But yes, other than that, we're using the same.
And so that's the reason. I had some people say, well, the state capitol, they allow firearms in the state capitol if you have a concealed carry permit, but we're conforming it to what the rules are at the Judicial Center, and we don't allow that there, so we're not going to allow that here. Is that correct?
Yeah. Once you secure a facility for state and local government, if you do not provide security, you have to allow concealed carry. But once you provide the security, then you can, because it is now a secure location, you can stop the concealed carry. And so that is the process. There will no longer be concealed carry in the courthouse.
Thank you.
It's a shame that it's come to this, but we're just trying to make everybody safe that visits this great courthouse or the people coming involved. But it's just a shame that the world's come to that, but it is. And Mark's absolutely right. Once you secure it, then you can control what comes in and goes out. And so to me, it's a big plus. I know some people think it's a waste of tax dollars. I don't see safety as a waste of tax dollars personally. Anyway, it's just my 2 cents on it. Mike, do you have anything else?
No, I completely agree. I hate it that we have to spend tax dollars on this kind of stuff, but that's the world we live in, and it would be irresponsible of us not to.
I think so. Did anyone else have anything on administrative business? I just had a couple things. This probably could have gone to the end. I was fortunate enough to get in and get my my first shot the other day, and I hadn't had a chance to go down there and see how it's run. And I'm telling you, I know there's probably going to be a mass of people coming in Thursday, but of last week when I went in, I've never seen such a more very well run where they're giving the vaccine. It was unbelievable. I mean, got you in, timely manner, very courteous, walked you around and went through, poked you. Jamie got to poke me. I think he enjoyed that more than I did. But just to see how it was conducted. So my hat's off to the county employees, or anybody involved in that.
I think we've all received some emails of how well it's been, that people were very impressed with lack of waiting and how it just ran through. I mean, the waiting you had to wait around a few minutes afterwards to make sure you didn't have a reaction. That probably took more time than going through all that.
It did, Doug. Absolutely.
I saw a guy on the front page of the paper looked an awful lot like you.
He looked, that guy was older.
Yeah, he's older. He's older and a little heavier than I thought he was, too. So we won't go any further than that.
Well, I'm glad you got your vaccine.
Yeah, thank you. I hope everyone does. The other thing I had was, when I got on board here, I talked to a couple folks, mainly Mark and Stephanie, about the newsletter. I always thought it was good to get something out so the public can see, because the more you can communicate with the public, the better. And we try our best up here. I've noticed that since day one. But her being able to put that newsletter out in such a quick fashion and getting the information out for people that want to access it is just a good thing. And I really appreciate that they took that. I'd had a discussion with Mark, and I was glad he supported that, and I'm just glad they got that done. I was just very impressed with it, and I just hope to continue to do that, because it's a good thing to have them. A lot of times people don't know the reason we do things, and when you show it like that you can clearly say, they go, oh, that makes sense. So I was just glad. Hats off to the staff on that.
And it happened quickly.
Yes, it did.
You know how long it took to get these meetings live?
Yeah. Oh, is that right?
That was day one I wanted that done.
Is that right?
It took 2 years. It took 3 or 4 months. It took about 4 or 5 months when I got here.
Well, this is a good thing, too, having them live like that.
We would have been in a bad shape with the COVID if we wouldn't have had our meetings live. But anyway.
And people can view them afterwards. That's absolutely true.
Yep.
Okay, if there's nothing on administrative business, we'll move on to consent agenda. Is there anything that needs to be pulled or discussed from the consent agenda? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we accept the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion on this before we move? All right. Commissioner Doug Smith?
Aye.
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 And aye. Okay. Formal board action. Consider a motion to approve the transfer of property located at 321 Olive to the city of Leavenworth. Mark, are you going to handle this?
I will take care of that.
All right. Thank you.
The city of Leavenworth is doing a drainage project. It's just a few blocks from here. The county actually holds a piece of property over there. Not sure why we originally obtained the property, but it has no developable value. It's too far away for a parking lot for us. So
It was leftover. It was leftover delinquent tax sale property.
I assumed as much, but it's just a vacant piece of ground that currently we have to maintain. So we support transferring this lot to the city so they can complete their drainage project. Because it is transfer property, it does require at least a $1 fee, so they will have to pay $1 for it, but I think that's reasonable, and we'll answer any questions that you might have.
Any questions?
They get rid of it fast.
I think they need it, we don't, so let's go.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we transfer the property in question to the city of Leavenworth for a fee of $1.
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion on this one? Okay. Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Stephen? Mr. Collins?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Next one, go ahead, Bill. I don't want to take your thunder.
That's all right. Good morning, Commissioners. We have two action items here today. The first is the bridge replacement project at K45. We did receive a Watershed Institute grant for the replacement of this structure. It is currently rated at 3 tons. The grant is a 50-50 cost share grant for the bridge, and a not to exceed $10,000 of funding for the secondary structure on Millwood Road that is a 110-inch corrugated metal pipe that also needs to be replaced in order to meet the requirements of their grant process. We received 2 bids for the project. Low bid was Norfolk Crane Company and Contracting for $169,320. The secondary bid was Reese Construction Company of Salina at $272,948. The engineer's estimate that we had Olson provide was $294,074. So we did receive a very good bid, the low bid. They are a reputable company who I have past experiences with building 5 or 6 different structures. If there's any questions regarding the grant.
Bill, do you think there's any reason, I mean, especially on the amount, these other 2, it just gets your attention, but you're comfortable with what
Yes, this company offers a package process that I don't believe there are too many other entities in the Midwest that are offering, where they will get all of the proper permitting, all of the structure, and all of the installation as a turnkey type package on a KDOT simple structure, and that is what they do exclusively, where a lot of these other companies don't do that. And so they look to make their financial profits from the sale of the steel. They're a steel company. They just acquired these secondary businesses in order to move more product on the steel side. And so I think that is where the drastic cost savings comes from. The permitting alone is extensive, but family members within the company actually provide those services. And so it is a unique opportunity. But yes, I have worked with this company to build 4 or 5 other bridges, and comparatively, this is how the bids have always turned out.
So is this a Husker Steel company then?
Husker Steel.
Oh, okay.
Husker
All right.
Steel
Yeah. That's.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
Smith, I don't know if we've built any Husker Steel.
No, but we've been in discussion with them for years.
Yeah.
On there was one up there on the county line by Potter we were supposed to do with them.
Yeah, it was recently completed.
Okay. No, this is a good deal here.
I don't have any questions. Anybody else have questions?
You ready for a motion?
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion that we award bid for K45 bridge replacement, engineering, design, and construction services to Norfolk Contracting. Do you need an amount in the motion?
Yes.
Is it the 186,252?
Yes.
Yes.
$186,252.
Second. You have a motion, a second. Any discussion on this any further? If not, I'll call the roll. Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Stephen?
Aye.
Cons?
Aye.
Culbertson?
Aye.
And aye. Very good.
Thanks, Bill.
Yep.
Thank you, Bill.
The secondary item for your consideration today is the acceptance of the transfer of equipment list provided to the disposal. We do have 2 lists being provided. The first list is a list of equipment that we have previously replaced and still have that we need to auction off through Purple Wave. And then the secondary list, primarily consisting of the 3 dozers, we are intending to use those as collateral trade-in on a future government municipal lease. turn it over. We can discuss any item or questions you may have regarding this.
Dozers are bringing pretty good money right now. These are in pretty good shape.
2 of the 3 are in good shape. One has transmission issues.
Well, I guess I've been gone for a long time.
One has transmission issues. They used it a lot during the tornado debris out there at the Tonganoxie Quarry, and ran into several mechanical issues with it. Currently, we do have what we're looking at is some 5-year government lease packages that bring down that cost of ownership of a dozer quite a bit, and we're looking at replacing the 3 dozers with 2.
Mm-hmm. Boy, the Jersey rock spreader, we hate to see that go. I think that was purchased to hard surface Eisenhower the first time in the late 60s. That was.
It had been modified several times.
Well, it had been smashed one time.
So we actually,
modified. Okay, that was.
That's one way to put it. It had been repaired. Well, it had been repaired and modified. It had been modified to fit the dozers we have, and they did use it a lot with the preparation for the dust abatements.
Mm-hmm.
And so it is our intention. We have already written specifications for the replacement of that piece of equipment. But because it does fit one of the dozers being traded in, we felt that the highest value was to release it as a package with the dozer that had been modified to fit. And so we do intend on bidding a new rock spreader that would fit these new dozers. I believe they cost approximately $50,000. But as you can see, from a 1966 model, we should be able to get our money's worth out of it over the course of the next.
It laid a lot of base rock.
30 years. So we don't intend on eliminating that piece of equipment, but we would like to replace it when we do enter into some government.
We used it on 227th Street, Commissioner Culverson, on the land going to the C&D landfill.
Mm-hmm.
The road's held up pretty
It's a
well.
nice road.
Yeah.
Okay. Any more discussion? I don't get to take a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we allow Public Works to offer surplus equipment on Purple Wave auction and to use the remaining equipment for trade-in on government lease packages.
Second.
Motion and second. Any more discussion or comments on that? All right, I'll call the roll. Commissioner Smith?
Aye.
Stephen?
Aye.
Oz?
Aye.
Colson? And I. Okay, very good. Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, guys.
We got quite a bit
Thank you.
of equipment to get rid of.
I noticed
Yard ought to have a lot more room in it.
I noticed that list. I really did.
I'd like to publicly express appreciation to Bill for the help he offered one of our citizens down in the south on consideration of what he needed to do with the retaining pond. Thank you for that effort. It's appreciated.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Okay.
Thank you.
Any presentations, item discussion? I didn't see any on that. Additional public comment if needed. Katie Bergman, Myra Wagstaff. Y'all just walked in? But y'all
time.
You just
You're up.
come up to the podium, please. Introduce yourself again in case I destroyed your name. Yeah. Welcome.
Thank you. My name is Katie Bergman. I'm the president of Deca this year.
I'm Justin Pettis. I'm the vice president of Deca.
And we're just here to request some money because we're doing our international career development trip this year. So first we're going to start by telling you what Deca is. It's a business organization that prepares leaders and entrepreneurs. With Deca, students develop skills like communication, problem-solving skills, also critical thinking. Also, at Leavenworth High School, students like us are in charge of 3 separate businesses. These go along with Deca because it is a co-curricular activity. We run Pete's Place, which is a school spirit store, Pioneer Perk, which is a branded coffee shop, and then Pete's Print Shop. This is where we make all of our stuff for Pete's Place, and we also sell it to local businesses and school clubs. And that's just kind of what DECA is all about and what we're in charge of.
So the International Career and Development Conference is the big competition for DECA each year. Last year it was meant to be held in Nashville, and this year it's meant to be held in Anaheim. However, COVID has canceled both of these opportunities. However, our advisor has scheduled a trip to Colorado as an opportunity for us to travel and experience things. Career and college tours for all students attending this trip are going to be held as well. The budget above, you guys have this pamphlet.
I didn't see it. I didn't see the budget. That was going to be my next question.
Got it here. We have one outline on this pamphlet. Got it. Gotcha.
Thank you.
This one right here.
Oh,
So the budget is the second box on the right. Okay, there we go. So the budget is the second box on the right, and that outlines the TRIPS funding and where funding is coming from. However, we're about $1,800 short, so we understand that there is excess tax money, so currently we're requesting $1,400. However, any money you guys are willing to give us is appreciated greatly. Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to come and speak to you guys today. That's all we have this morning.
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
It's perfect timing, too. Okay.
Mark, what would be the mechanism for that? Would that come out of our 50,000?
That you gave to the county attorney last.
We didn't give it all to him.
Yes, you did. There is no mechanism for a specific mechanism for these kind of requests because they're outside of the normal budget. We do offer money to the historical societies that you have set aside in your budget. In the past, we have had the money set aside for non-specific requests like this. However, again, a few weeks ago, the board did agree to fund a new position for the county attorney, which took all of those funds.
I thought it was just going to. I thought it was going to be a portion of it.
Yeah, that was going to be
Well,
half of it, Mark.
You're funding a position and benefits. Now we don't know when he'll fill the position, but
Right.
assumedly he could fill that position this week.
Oh, okay.
So at this time, I don't believe that there's funds available in there.
I think the Fair Board may be coming in to request on a roof repair on one of their buildings. I didn't realize all that money was gone. Huh.
Well, I haven't had a chance to go all the way through the budget,
It's pretty tight.
and I've been looking at that. But Mark, there's no place. I mean, things like this are just, in my opinion, are important. Even though I know we can't print money, I really get that. But
We're not the federal government.
yeah, we can't use stimulus
I
package.
thought that's what that machine down there was, a printing press, but it's security.
Yeah.
But, we've given money in the past, and I've actually gotten some people complaining about that because we pay taxes to the school district.
Okay.
So, but I've also I believe we should support these organizations.
Well, and another option is, if each of us threw $100 in, then we'd give them $500 just from ourselves.
Well, I would absolutely.
Oh, you going to do that for every school district?
No, but
Every school district has a DECA club, and the private schools.
I'm just saying that's an option. So
I would do it with you, Commissioner.
we'll donate $200.
Okay. Well, Mark says there's no funding. There's no funding, so we'll move on to the next thing.
I was thinking we would just readdress this once we get into the budget, because
Yeah.
you never know until we get that far in.
Yeah.
What we're
I didn't know what
gonna
their timeline was.
Well, I'm sure it's coming before the end of the school year,
I
or in
would,
the summer.
I would think. Okay. I think it's a good idea, Jeff. We can look at it down the line. Mark can keep us aware.
Does
it have a
This won't
date?
be the only organization coming in to ask for money then.
They didn't give us a date, did they?
I didn't see it. I was looking for it.
'Cause I'm sure about every school.
Did they have
has
a
DECA
contact
club.
number on here? I didn't.
Becky may have it. I do not.
I can get hold of Katie.
I'm sure we
find
have.
out. That's not
Okay.
going to be a problem.
Okay.
So,
I can find out.
See what their deadline
The
is.
deadline would probably be very important to us. Okay, that's good point.
And how many other schools are going to come in and ask for it?
Well, I know we can't do them all. I get it. That's why we're elected officials, make those tough decisions.
Yeah.
After saying that, and nobody responding, I will, I just want to bring up on the district public comment forum is Lansing City Council last night voted 5-3 to continue their mask ordinance until the end of April. So we have one city that lifted it and one that did not, and they're side by side.
And the Leavenworth does not plan to extend theirs based on what was in the city commission meeting
Oh, yeah, they're not
last
going.
evening, that it will expire at the end of this month.
Yeah, that's what I've been told too. Okay.
However, Fort Leavenworth extended
I haven't
theirs.
heard on Tonganoxie yet. If it's even been
Rocky
discussed.
didn't. I talked to Rocky. He didn't know yet. On that note, I think it is. If you look at our numbers, I'm very encouraged. In our numbers.
Well, we can say encouraged, but we still need to remember that it ain't over yet, and that we need to, whenever possible, to observe, caution and respect of personal space and all of those things, social distancing and voluntarily
I think
using
those
your
are the-
masks, because it's not over yet. We don't have enough people vaccinated at this point to, completely let our guard down. And I know that the report from KU yesterday indicated that there's a slight uptick in hospitalizations in the past several days. So they're seeing that there could be a little bit of a trend moving up. And we want to keep all of this moving flat or down. And so I think that it's just really important for all of us to accept responsibility for doing our part until we can get everyone vaccinated who choose to be vaccinated.
Yeah. Well, I didn't go to spring break in Florida, so
See, I didn't either.
I did my part. So,
But I just think that the nice thing is there's light at the end of the tunnel.
Absolutely.
yeah.
I think if the trends continue for the vaccination clinics here in Leavenworth County, Jamie's staff, I think you mentioned earlier how a wonderful job they were doing. Just looking at the numbers, by the end of this week, we'll be pushing probably 15 to 20% of the people who have had their first vaccines. I'm thinking realistically by May that most of the people have had their second vaccines, and we could easily in June be at 50 to 60% of the people. And that's not counting people who won't get the vaccine.
Right,
That's just the
right.
people who have had the opportunity to.
Yeah.
Plus, then you add the folks who've already had COVID, which is another 6,000 people. So, we're really pushing that number. We're getting close to that point where a majority of our population will have either had COVID or will have had the vaccine. So that's good. We're moving in the right direction.
Just on top of that, too, and I probably should have said it earlier, I got a call or an email from someone this past week, and her 90-year-old mother was having a tough time getting in to get it done, and she's really concerned about it. So I contacted Mark, who contacted Jamie, and they took care of it the next day. These are the kind of things that I'm just pleased to be able to report when I get a handle on what they're doing. And I agree with you, Mark. More this promoted, just like Vicki, like you're saying, more people are getting their shots. I think May will probably see a thing. I don't know if we'll ever get back to normal, but I do know that, I'm tired of the mask, and I'll sure be glad. So people, get your shot. I'll leave it there. Mike, anything else that you have?
No.
Doug, did you have anything?
Oh, just I attended the basketball court dedication Sunday in Baser
Yeah.
for Keegan Gore,
Yeah.
Baser graduate that passed away young too.
Yeah.
Passed away very young. They took the memorial money and the city worked with the family and they put in a very nice basketball court. A big turnout. Is It's amazing what the community base are, when they come together, what they do. Also, there'll be a city council meeting tonight if we get out of our work session in time. Is that, you get the hint there?
Well, I've already shared it with Crisco and Mark, and then anybody else that will listen to me.
I'd like to attend the council meeting. Don't have to be there at the beginning, but and also I have Fairmount Township meeting tomorrow night, Thursday night, and I think that's all I got to report.
You know, Doug, when you start going past an hour and a half, productivity in these meetings goes down tremendously. So I'm hoping that we can do what we need to do. Even we have to have more to get that, because once you start doing that, we see it in the LCD joint meetings we've been having also. Hour and a half is usually what people are ready to get up and run out the door. Vicki, do you have anything for the group?
Yesterday, I participated in the workforce development Zoom meeting. They have completed the first draft of their regional plan and the local plan, and approved the audit for the programs. And there are several virtual job fairs and interviewing opportunities through Workforce Partnership on their website, and I would highly recommend going to the Facebook page or going to the Workforce Partnership organization there to get information on those, because there's a lot of decent jobs coming up or that are available. There's also, they announced some virtual meetings for veterans and their families for employment opportunities. So there's a lot going on, and I think that people need to take advantage of it, because there are a lot of employment opportunities. People just need to avail themselves of those opportunities, along with education opportunities.
People need workers.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
That's a fact.
absolutely.
Yeah.
At all levels.
Yes.
It's at all
There are
levels.
a lot of employment opportunities out there, so people need to take advantage of that instead of unemployment.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I forgot, I did sit in on the Mid-America Regional Council meeting yesterday. I had to leave the second one early. I had another appointment. I don't know when they're going to get back to in-person meetings.
You think they will? They kind of act like they like it this way. I think it might be a while.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd like to get back to in-person meetings.
I didn't know if they said anything
I
yesterday
prefer
about
No,
Great fun driving
I
down.
prefer in
it
person.
hasn't even been discussed.
I do too.
It was early on, but
Meetings, so I don't have
Yeah,
to
they said-
drive.
it hasn't
It's
been
not very
since
fun
people have been
driving
getting vaccinated
No,
and stuff. I
driving
thought
out there
they'd
is not,
want to get back to in-person
my favorite
meetings.
pastime.
Vicki, do you have anything else?
No, I think that was it.
Thank you. Jeff?
Thank you.
Oh, nothing special. A couple issues came up with the old rock quarry in Easton. So I've been working with some of the local neighbors and flatland excavation and getting those issues worked out with KDHE and everybody. So
That's the C&D landfill.
yeah,
Okay.
just C&D. The old rock quarry, and then they
Do
took
they
it down
crush
to
any rock
C&D.
out there any
Not
anymore?
anymore.
Okay.
Since I think Larkin sold it is the last time
Yeah.
they crushed any rock, and they made another pit to put more
Right.
stuff in. So I think we're getting all those issues worked out. I'm meeting with a couple people later this week. I'll let you guys know if it needs
Okay.
any further address.
We just renewed that not too long ago, right?
Yeah, spring in 19, so it's good till 29, as long as they meet all the conditions.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Lucky to
I
have.
think we got it figured out.
Glad we have that out there. Projects in the county to be able to dispose there.
Yeah, the tornado, Linwood tornado, I think, is where
Yeah.
some of that contractor
Big
went.
one. Yeah.
They pay taxes.
Yep. You else, Jeff?
That's about it.
If there's anybody else? Alibi?
Remind people that to schedule your informal hearing on your property taxes, you have to the 31st.
Okay, very good.
And,
Reminder.
Do we
You can
know?
still pay in protest,
Right.
but do your informal hearing.
Do we know? Is there quite a few hearings being scheduled?
I don't keep up on that. I haven't asked the appraiser, so I don't know.
So
Are
it's
they
really
doing
the
in
correct-
person, or are they doing
appraisals, not
telephone?
the
I know
taxes.
several have done by telephone, so
Okay.
I
I
don't know
think
if
they
they've
have
done.
both.
They do both.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Commissioners, anything else? If not, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Stephen?
Aye.
Cos?
Aye.
Aye.
Wilson? And I. And we are adjourned.